Hey, good morning. Welcome to another episode of the Gaming Now. We're recording here Sunday, January 26th, 2025. Let's start off with our introductions. D'Lo, what's up, man?
What's good? How's everybody doing?
Excellent. Johnny, welcome back, man. How you
Hey
doing?
guys, I'm back, doing all right. Happy to be back. I think you guys did 2 episodes since in the new year since I'm back
Yes,
now.
yes,
Okay, good.
yes.
Good to be back.
Caroline, how you feeling this morning?
I'm still cold. I know it's a little warmer today, but still cold.
You looking real green over there, and
I got
I
I
can't
gotta
say nothing.
represent
My
the
team
green.
lost, so I can't say nothing. I had to keep my mouth shut.
It's a big game day for us today, so we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Okay, we'll have something to discuss on the next episode as well. So
I
we'll
might
see
be
how you
upset. I might
yeah,
be
we'll see how
crying.
you feeling. Upset or really, really happy.
I'm
So
really happy, right?
on today's episode, we're gonna talk about the Xbox Direct that just happened. Where does the Switch rank in our console hierarchy and some of games that turned 20 this year. So with that being said, I think everyone knows Xbox had a direct Thursday showcase of their games, potential games that's going to be on other systems, which we've talked about before. They had a couple shadow drops. So we're kind of going to do it a little different. We're going to go game by game with game by game with what they showed and just give our initial thoughts on it. So they did a shadow drop of Ninja Gaiden, however you want to pronounce it. I'm gonna say Ninja Gaiden. Um, I want to get your initial thoughts on if you guys like Ninja Gaiden. Have you ever played it, and what do you think of it? D'Lo, go ahead, man.
So initial thoughts when it first, I think that was the first little game that popped up. Initially, I didn't know what it was because I played Ninja Gaiden, but I knew about the name, but I never put a game with a face. But my initial thoughts, I was like, oh, this game looks pretty good. I was like, this looks like some cyberpunk, what I'm saying, at time, environment wise. I was like some Japanese, Yakuza type of thing. I was like, this game was pretty nice. Then when I saw it was Ninja Gaiden 4, I was like, now I need to go play the series. Because that game, and then when they took a deep dive, but I initially liked this game. I said, I'm going to go pick this up. Before I even knew Ninja Gaiden, I said, I'm going to go pick this up. So I really like it.
Have you ever played Ninja Gaiden before?
I think I played 2, but at the time I didn't know what it was. I think I just saw it on that's back when Game Pass was very at the beginning, and I was like,
Okay.
what's this game? So I played it. I played a little bit of it. At the time, I think I didn't have no interest. I was just kind of seeing what it was. So, but I did play 2, technically.
Okay. Caroline, Ninja Gaiden, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get it.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, for me, it's nostalgia. And it
Uh-huh.
looked really sweet. So those are my initial thoughts. I'm like, okay, they did a really good job in making this new game. Man, I think I played the very first one. I'm just trying to remember. It's just been a while, but the gameplay looks awesome. Like it made me happy watching that for sure. So I didn't think I was gonna get it. But I immediately put it on my wish list.
Maybe muted. Another.
Sorry, you
Yeah,
said
you're
you only
muted.
played the first one. Is that correct?
Yeah, the first one. I don't
Okay.
remember the other ones, right? But again, it's been so long. So
Okay. Johnny, how you feel about it, man?
Yeah. So I overall, I think for the first time in a long time, I don't have mostly negative things to say about the whole direct. But Ninja Gaiden, I think, was the worst of the.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that might be heavily influenced by my previous experiences with Ninja Gaiden. I think it is a soulless franchise that rests on the nostalgic laurels of former success. Going back to the first game, on the NES, where it got this fame as this really tough game that it meant something if you beat Ninja Gaiden. And when I was watching the direct, I was like, okay, why do I not like this game versus another action game? Actually, another one that came to mind was Doom, because I was like, oh, this character seems soulless. Ryu Hayabusa. He seems he doesn't seem to have much character. How is that different from Doom guy? And I think the thing that I realized in that brief comparison is that Doom Guy doesn't say like anything about all of these Doom games, but he still expresses character. He's still like his attitude is like fuck you, and like the actions that you take in the game are like total anti, like they're hostile toward everything, I guess. Whereas I think the thing that first turned me off before after knowing that it was Ninja Gaiden, I was immediately turned off. But after that, it was the way that Ryu was like talking. This is probably a very small gripe that I'm making a huge mountain out of. But it was like mission initiated. Like I'm doing this thing. I don't know. It didn't seem like it had any. I don't think the main character has any character, which I think really takes away from the game experience itself. So it just becomes a very bland, like really, flashy, like fireworks show. But I want more of an experience, I think. But who knows? Maybe I'm talking out of my ass.
Okay. My thoughts on
More
it
than you
is
bragging for.
no, not at all. Not at all. I love it. My thoughts are, I mean, I've never really played it. I told you guys about my single player kind of thing. I did try it. I downloaded it as soon as they finished. I've tried it. It's difficult. I'll say that it is difficult. I can't say really if I'm enjoying or hating it right now. I've only played like 20 minutes of it. But I didn't immediately turn it off like I did Stalker 2. And immediately turn it off and say, I'm not giving this another chance. I have not played Stalker 2 since I tried it out, by the way. But it looks decent. I like a game that's kind of hard. And I'm going to say, before we even talk about the rest of the Direct, I want to segue, since we're talking about this. I was listening to some multiple people talking there saying like Ninja Gaiden, which Johnny just said is like supposed to be a hard game and it meant something. How do you guys feel about like games holding your hand, or like sometimes you can't get in these new age games, you can't get to a certain place and then they'll like make a path where you're supposed to go here and they'll give you a direction. And I know in the new Mario games, if you die so many times, they just give you invincibility. Like you just make it through the whole. So where Ninja Gaiden, they called it Ninja Gaiden is fair without being too critical like the Souls games are. How do you feel about games that kind of gives you the path, or should you feel like you just have to beat it yourself?
I think that's okay to a certain extent, because I mean, everyone isn't a hardcore gamer like that has the patience and the try hard, I guess, to figure it out, or they don't have the what is it called? What is it called when lack of better terms, you're not good at your surroundings, knowing where to go all the time. So you may need that help. But after a certain extent, yes, give me help. But like in the game, hold my hand, because I have to learn how to play the game. So I feel like that's okay. To people now, if any of us have another take, this is not a shot towards you. But I feel like if that's a gripe for you, then you shouldn't never get to that point in gaming. That's on you at that point. You get what I'm saying? So that's my take on it. I feel like it's fair.
Okay. Johnny, Caroline?
Yeah, I think I tend to be pro accessibility in games for just about everybody. I think there's a broad market of gamers who have a broad set of skills. So I think games that are more hand-holdy, there's an audience for that. I think that games that are harder, there's an audience for that too. I think I like to dabble in some of the really like tough like precision games from time to time, while accepting that I'm trash at them and like know that I won't put in the time to really get good, even if I could. But I think there's enough balance out there that there's no real. I don't think there's a problem with how easy games are these days. If a game's too easy, just don't play it. I think that's the solution. And there's most games, or a lot of games at least, have difficulty sliders where you can customize your experience. Which I know there's a conversation to be had about that too. Like what the developers intended, like what is the real intended version. Yeah, I think there are nuances, but I don't see a problem with it as it is.
Johnny, what if it's a game? I I don't know, Baldur's Gate or something that I know you play that. What if it's a game that you've been playing for years? It's Baldur's Gate 1, blah, blah, blah. And then it's been hard, then it gets super easy. That's just cool. Like,
what do you mean, like it's patched to become easy, or like another game in the franchise becomes
yes,
easy?
and that, like this game's been hard. Like it's a Bloodborne, and it's been hard. Then all of a sudden, Bloodborne 3 hypothetically is just super easy. They're holding your hand. How would you feel about that?
Yeah, if something were to change significantly, I think I would be disappointed. Because if what I liked about a previous game in a series was sacrificed for the sake of reaching more players, like I would understand the marketing move, but I would probably be disappointed. And at least in Baldur's Gate, there is sort of a story mode versus like a tactician mode, and even an honor mode, which is like the very hard version. Yeah, as long as it's not at the cost of player experience, I'm not opposed to having a variety of challenge.
Okay, Caroline.
Yeah, I agree with the other two guys. I think it depends on the market. And then again, it's like one of those things where if the Ninja Gaiden is a great example, it's notoriously difficult. I expect the next game to be difficult. But they should also, I think it should be an option to make it easier. So like maybe not automatically like, hey, you're clearly struggling for this or clearly struggling on this game. So here's a star, right? No, I think it should, and I think games have been doing that throughout the years anyways. There's always an easy mode. There's always like a normal mode. Again, for like experienced gamers. And then there's always a hard mode or whatever, like an impossible mode. So, yeah, I mean, it's again not a big deal, but I want it as an option. Like if I want it to be easy, then like give me the choice for it to be easy or give me the choice for it to be hard.
Okay. I think I agree with everyone in little bits. I'm more of a hardcore. Y'all already know that. So I don't want any help. I just Star Wars. One of the old Star Wars games I played, I couldn't get past this one part, so I put it down for 6 months. Then look on YouTube, then ask for help. Came back, figured it out, finished the game. So it's another game I'm playing that I'll talk about later. Right now, I uninstalled it. It's a 3-player co-op, but I was playing single player, which is my mistake because it's very hard. But I uninstalled it because I didn't get past something by myself. And then I just got to the final boss right before we started a little bit ago. So I think they should get one thing I'm big on is what Caroline said. They should give you kind of the option. Like Mario, when you die so many times, they'll put the little box over so you can be invincible. And if you click and jump on that box, you're invincible. If you choose not to jump on it, then you can just keep trying and keep trying and keep trying. I like stuff like that. Where it gets me is when there's multiplayer, and D-Lo would know this. I started with Gears of War 1, where it was a little bit more difficult to play, and then people complain, maybe in League, Johnny, I don't know, but people complain. Then all of a sudden, everybody can do all this special stuff, and I don't like that. If it takes some skill to do something, let's keep it here and make these people learn, and if they don't want to learn, then they shouldn't be playing online. So they shouldn't be playing online with the masses, or they should be going to a quick match or at a ranked match. But I don't really have a problem because kids play these games as well. So the audience, what Caroline said, but it gets to a certain point when you're talking about online gaming and you're making it easier so everyone can play. I don't necessarily agree with that.
Yeah, that might be an instance of where they sacrifice some of the things that people loved to make it more approachable by the people. So I think that would fall into, I guess, part of my criticisms as well when that happens. And you're right that it is a different conversation about a multiplayer game versus a single player experience.
Yeah. What's up, BJ?
What's up, man? I'm having some weird stuff with my audio, but I guess I'm just gonna have to work with it. Does everything sound good?
Yeah.
On y'all's end?
Yeah.
I'm like y'all not like an echo or nothing going on?
Nah. I don't know
Okay,
anybody.
all right.
No.
Well, as long as it sounds good for the stream, then I'll just bear with it.
Okay.
But yeah, I think I came in on the perfect topic here because I don't know if it's been brought up already, but in the fighting game community, we are now dealing with this thing where they like to put this modern control scheme in all the games, which is essentially simplifying these games to like no end. It's like, think about Street Fighter. You know how to do a Hadouken. You have to do a quarter circle forward, and then you have to press the button to do it. Well, the modern engine makes it where you just have to press one button. You just press square and you do a Hadouken. You don't have to do the motion or even a Shoryuken, which is actually a really big thing because the Shoryuken obviously is a really important tool for people that jump and you can't jump. Or even supers, they have it where you press two buttons and the super just comes out, which leads to people able to do like these crazy reactions to stuff that they wouldn't have normally been able to do it because you have to do the motions first. And this was a big thing in the community. It was still to this day where it's like you got modern users versus classic users, and the modern users don't even they're like, yo, we don't mess with you modern players. Please get out of our game. And me, as somebody that's been playing forever, obviously I kind of agree with that. Like, I am not with this age of let's make everything easier. And I heard y'all brought up Ninja Gaiden. I've been playing that Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. And and this might be a part of the reason why I don't finish some games sometimes. But I cranked the I'm playing on the hardest difficulty, and I'm proud of myself because I just got through chapter 1 last night, despite the fact that it took me I don't know how many times I died. I probably died like 50 times, but I got there. You know what I'm saying? And there's no better feeling than knowing that I rammed my head into this, I persevered, and I got through it. I refuse. I won't even play on normal. Like, I refuse to have an easy experience.
Well, you told me that. You told me that on Helldivers when you was playing on night. I'm like,
yeah,
what the
we
hell?
turned it all the way up to the what is a max difficulty, and honestly, that's like the funnest way to play it because it really gives you that feeling of like this is just overwhelming. And then by the time you get through it, it's like the best thing ever. Like, bro, we really got through that. So I'm definitely not about that. I don't know. And if don't hold somebody's hand. Like, if you can't beat it, just turn the difficulty down. Right? Because I remember when Mario came out, and it was like, which one was? I can't remember exactly if it was the Wii U one. It was one of those newer Super Mario Bros. Games where if you kept losing the stage enough times, Luigi would just come and just beat the stage for you.
Oh, damn. I didn't even know that.
Why even play the game at that point? Yeah, they would have it where Luigi would literally come out and just beat the game for you. Or not the game, but beat the stage for you. Why are you playing the game? You might just go watch a video of somebody playing it at that point.
I did not know that about the fighting games, by the way. That actually grinds my gears a little bit.
Yeah, when you hop on that Street Fighter 6, you'll see it. They have it on there. It's like you can do whole combos by just pressing they're like you can keep pressing triangle, you'll do a whole combo that finishes off with a super and everything. But what they did was to balance it a little bit, it does less damage than if you were actually doing the inputs.
I was going to ask about that.
It's still kind of it's still kind of like crazy, especially if you have two people that are like, I'm trying to think of the word, like beginner level, and you get somebody that's beginner trying to learn classic versus somebody that's a beginner level that's not trying to learn and just playing modern. Then they get on there and just spam triangle on you, and then you don't really know what to do. I feel like that could be discouraging for people to even want to learn how to actually play the game. I'm like, well, if he can do all this on modern, well, I might as well just also switch to modern because I'm just getting my butt whipped the other way.
Yeah,
so I don't know. I don't think it's a good precedence, and unfortunately, I don't see it going any other way. Like, it's just going to continue to do this because the easier you make it, the more people are going to be willing to buy it and play it. So they're going to make more money like that. So I get it, but
and they're going to keep making it easier when they see that money.
Yeah,
now that age of difficult video games, man. We had the classic Mega Mans, the Castlevanias, I can't even think, but you know
Aladdin, Lion King, those was hard.
You can think of a game that was like, if you go back to it now, you would think like, how was I even playing this game as a kid? So.
No, it's funny you bring up the specifics to fighting games because I didn't even think about that. Like, it just feels like you're taking the skill out of the game, and I don't know, with single player games, you don't have tournaments, but like that's obviously going to affect the tournament community. I would hope they would change the rules and say like, hey, you have to play classic, or hey.
No, they don't. No, you can play modern in tournament. Not a lot of people do it. Like, that's the thing though. At that higher skill level, like the real tournaments. So let's say like Evo, most of the people are using classic because they know how it works. There'll be a few modern people like sprinkled in there, and you just kind of have to adjust. Like, you have to know that this person is playing modern They have to know that they're going to be able to do something that wouldn't have normally been possible before, and you have to keep it in mind. But I mean, sometimes you just slip. Like I said, you do a certain move that normally you would have been able to do it safely, but since they were playing modern, they were able to react to it way faster than the classic player would have been able to do it. And
Yeah,
you just have to keep it in mind when you're playing. But
this kind of reminds me of our conversation on gaming ethics and like what's allowable, like what's the right correct way to play a game. And I feel like I'm kind of going back on what I said. It's like, if you're allowed to do it, then go ahead and do this. I feel like in this case it's like, well, we're allowed to play modern or like the modern way to do it, so why can't we? I don't know.
yeah,
Maybe. So I just thought it was interesting.
it's an ongoing thing
And I think
right
BJ
now.
probably can attest to, at least when I told you guys I was ranked pretty high in Madden and 2K, those games, I know some people don't play sports games. Those games are just too easy now. They got all these skills. They got all of these, what do they call them, BJ? Like the receivers got like these, I
I
don't
know they
know.
had them X factors in the ones I played.
The X
I don't
factors.
know
And
if
this
they
is,
changed it since then because that was a couple of years ago.
no,
But
they still got them. They still have them. And it's where like anybody can now play it now. And it's like the basketball game, they're just dribbling to score. And it's like, all right, man, that done took the fun out of it. I'm gonna personally step back because I don't want to play anymore. But just making it easier for the mass to get it. And like you said, they're gonna get more money out of it probably because it brings more people in the door. So it is what it is, I guess.
yeah, like I say, even like with again, and I keep talking about the fighting games, but yeah, like that's how it is before. Like the old Street Fighter games when they come out, everybody's playing in that first when it first comes out, and then slowly over time, like if you get on Street Fighter, let's say you get on Street Fighter 4 right now, ain't nobody left on that game but the sweatiest of the sweats. Like you're not gonna get on there and get a dub unless you really know how to play. Nobody's playing it except for the people that have been playing it since day one and still playing to this day. But now with the modern, it's kind of keeping up a bigger player base because these beginner players or even people that may not feel like they want to learn how to actually play the game, they can still like get on there and compete to some extent. Now there is still a level where you get there and somebody knows how to really play and you're not gonna beat them. But you can still get on there, mash some buttons and get a win, do some combos and feel like you really did something, you know?
Hmm. All right, well, let's move from Ninja Gaiden on to the second game. I can't wait to hear this. On to the second game from the showcase, and I'm going in the order they have it on the screen. So we're going to talk about South of Midnight and how people felt about South of Midnight. So I'm interested. I want to start off with D-Lo.
I ain't gonna lie, I was going to start this anyway. Now I vividly remember me last time saying this game was not interesting,
Mm-hmm.
and I renege after seeing this deep dive because this game does look. When I saw the combat aspect of it, I was like, okay, I can get with this. I can get with this. You know what I'm saying? The story, and then because it has when they talk about the background of the storyline, like it being like Southern myth type, I said, I really want to see where they go with this because Southern folk tales are something that people doesn't get talked about a lot. Like when we talk about myths and mythological things, we talk about Greek. We don't talk about the stuff that like the history of voodoo, things like that, the stuff that people don't really talk about. And then I also wanted to know how they, because I have friends from Louisiana. I want to know how they go on the voice actors, how their work, how their presence is in the game, as well as I want to know where they take this music. I really want to know where they take the music in this game. So that's really what got me to change my mind. I said, okay, you know what? I'm gonna get it a chance.
Hey, I like what you're saying, man. Caroline, what you think about this game?
Yeah, I agree with that. The gameplay looks actually really cool. I don't know about the story. Again, like I'm drawn to games with a story, but like it's something I'm willing to explore more. But again, like it was one of those games like I wasn't sure I was gonna get. I'm actually still not sure myself, but like I really like the gameplay. At least like from what I see on this deep dive. What did excite me was that women worked on the game, and you don't see that very often. And again, as a woman gamer, like it's nice to see that community is like that we have more representation in gaming. So definitely interested in it. Not as much as Ninja Gaiden, because again, the Ninja Gaiden was more nostalgia for me. But I actually I'm looking forward to see what where they take it as well.
Okay, Johnny.
Yeah, so I think when I got to this point of the direct, I was like, oh, is this like the same exact type of game as like the previous one was, like a third person action adventure, like you're fighting monsters sort of thing? And I think it might be. It looked a lot like Ninja Gaiden, at least in terms of like play style combat. But upon seeing what the subject matter was, Andre, as you know, I'm a lover of fantasy. I love fantasy games. I love games with like magic and monsters and that sort of stuff. And I realized as I was watching it, I have never experienced a combination of like a fantasy game with like Black Southern folklore as the central like theme of it. And I was sold. That sounds like a really cool space to play and to explore, because I think there's a lot of untapped potential in that culture for experience. And then I'll say that I'm cautiously excited about it. And I think I hope they do well enough on the game to justify the appropriation, if that makes sense. Because it would suck that the combination of fantasy and this folklore doesn't live up to what it could be, because it seems like there's a lot of potential there. And it would be bad if it sucks.
Okay, all right, BJ.
I will say that it looks like a more fun game after seeing what you really do in the game. I have to honestly say I still don't really have that much of an interest in it. Like, I don't know if it's probably going to be on Game Pass. I don't know for sure. I think most of that stuff was going to be on Game Pass. So it seems like something where maybe I'll download it when it comes out and just try it out. Like, I have to like get in and like actually play it and see how I like it. Because right now it's not looking like something that I'm like, man, I can't wait to get into this. I mean, I can appreciate the black female main character and having that kind of setting, because that's not something we get often. But just for me, as far as like the gameplay, I don't think I'm really gonna like get into it like that.
Okay.
I really don't even have that much to say about it, truthfully. Like, it does look a little interesting, and I'll give it a try when it comes out if it's on Game Pass. Other than that, it'll probably be a skip for me.
Okay. I think. I think I was the only one excited about it last time. You guys know. I think I told you before that I like stuff that's different. I like the art style. Obviously, I have a mom. I have a daughter. I have a sister. BJ knows I like to help women a lot, things like that. So kind of what Caroline says, when you see like women working on the game, like that makes me like even more excited. And then when you talk about the cultural aspects of it, kind of what Johnny and D'Lo said, being down south, representing our culture a little bit, showing some things like the tales, the music, the folklore, all that stuff. I mean, that just makes me more excited for the cultural aspects of it. I'm kind of with Johnny. I think the game has good. I think it's gonna have a lot of good stuff, but I don't know if it's gonna be on a scale. I hate to use like a Call of Duty, but I don't know if it's gonna be on a scale where everybody's gonna know that it's good. Like, it's probably gonna be a good game, but it's not gonna have that top of the line Call of Duty, Gears of War, whatever success. And I don't know if enough people are gonna get in it to even get like a middle line success. I can't think of a game where there's like a game in the middle, but to me, it looks cool. Not even focusing on the gameplay, just the story and everything like that. And the art style kind of had me sold before. So I'm interested to just see where it goes. And one thing I say about people and just life in general, when it's something you don't like, or you can be critical of yourself or your own team, that's the ways of a person telling the truth. And you guys know I don't like single player games. So if I'm willing to play it, then I feel like, all right, this game. It's just to me, it looks cool. Who knows? I might get it, and I might say, you know what, I'm turning this off. I might install it and uninstall it real quick so I can save space. But it looks decent to me. So I'm eager to see it, and it comes out soon. I think it comes out in April or May. So we'll see what happens there. To the third game, Claire Obscure Expedition 33. I will admit this is a game I didn't know much about. I think I said that last time. So I want to get how you guys feel about this one. How'd you feel about the trailer? And let's start off with Caroline.
So, the story, it was actually like was what drew me to it, but kind of opposite of South of Midnight. Like I wasn't sure about the gameplay. I wasn't sure about being attached to the characters. Like I felt like I was going to be attached to the female lead of South of Midnight. This one, it's just, I don't know. Like it looks really cool. It's really pretty, but like, am I going to get it? Probably not. I don't know.
Okay.
Like the story looks cool. I think that was the best part about it for me. So I'll leave it at that.
Okay, Johnny.
Caroline, we might have a theme of being sort of an opposite. We might have very contradictory gaming tastes, or what we
probably
because I think I was less interested in the story of this and more interested in the gameplay. So when I first saw this, I was like, oh, another like third person action adventure like fighting game, until I think like only about halfway through or 3/4 of the way through showing this particular game, it was revealed that, oh, it's a turn-based strategy game with like an overworld. Like it is like a old school RPG in like with a modern skin on it, which that was, it suddenly made it interesting to me. So the gameplay, I'm curious to see. As you know, I grew up playing Final Fantasy and like the classic turn-based strategy games, and as I age, I'm falling more into those games and playing like games like Baldur's Gate, because it doesn't like it's strategy. It's more strategy than like, you know, fast-paced button pressing, which I'm not shading. I'm just acknowledging that I'm too old for now. Not in that it's immature to like those games. I'm too slow, is what I'm saying. I am too slow to play those games.
I mean, I'm all about the turn-based games because I grew up with that too. I don't know. Like I wasn't attached to the characters, right?
Sure.
Maybe that's what it is. It's just that
Sure.
maybe I just don't know the story of the characters, and maybe if the game is like, maybe I will. But I think just the overall story was compelling enough for me. But I don't know, like. I think maybe this is one of those games like I need to see more of it. Like I feel like I didn't get enough of it. To really...
the story didn't hook me either with this one, frankly. And I think that is maybe the plight of most modern writing for games, is that the story is probably gonna suck unless it's like one of these.
I don't know. You die if the number is there, right? Like if you're older than like 33, then you're dead.
yeah. There's potential there. Story wise, I was most excited for South of Midnight, just because there's so much rich opportunity there.
Yes.
But the thing that I was most interested in Expedition 33 was that it is a turn-based game with, you know, where they talk about their overworld, which is something that I can't remember seeing in a game for a long time. Like Final Fantasy, what, 8? Did 9 have an overworld? Gosh, I can't remember. Anyways, yeah, I think that's all I had to say on Expedition 33.
VJ?
So I'm a little bit with Johnny and a little bit with Caroline on this, because I agree with Johnny where it looks like one of those classic turn-based RPGs, which I'm all about. And that's what I grew up on. It kind of looked, it even gave me a little like of a Persona vibe, like with the actual combat. But at the same time, like the world itself that it looks like they were trying to present with the characters and stuff, that is something that does not really interest me as much. Like, I don't know, like it's like, I don't know if it's the proper term, but it looks like kind of like a steampunk type of thing. Like, I don't know if that's the proper term. I feel like it's similar to that, you know, and that's not really something that ever really interested me. I guess I was more like I don't know, like a straight fantasy, like, you know, how Final Fantasy or whatever, with Final Fantasy X being one of my favorites, and yeah, so I'm a little bit torn. Again, I think all these games are on Game Pass, so it's gonna be another one where as long as it's on Game Pass, I'm willing to give it a try because it's really, no risk, right? It's just okay. I download it, play it. If I don't like it, I can delete it. Not a problem. So I'm definitely willing to give it a chance to see how I will feel about these characters after actually playing the game and seeing what's going on. But the gameplay looks fun. The graphics look great, and that part alone is what gives me the feeling where I'm like, okay, I'll at least give it a try. Like I don't want to write it off just seeing like the trailer and stuff where they're mostly showing off gameplay. Um, I feel like we like Caroline said, we didn't see enough. You don't really see a lot about the characters. You kind of see what they look like. I don't really know what they're talking about or anything yet, So I think it'll be another one where I'll give it a try when it comes out, and if it sticks, it sticks.
That's the beauty of Game Pass, man. You can just try the stuff, and if you don't like it, then just delete it. So, D-Lo?
Well, I guess I don't know what you're gonna say, Andre, but I'm on a complete opposite end of the spectrum all the way. I feel like I was interested in this game when it first kind of came out. At the end, I think I said I thought it was Gears at first, by the crumbling buildings and stuff like that. But I'm interested in this game now. I will say this. Hopefully this game doesn't break my streak. I've never been disappointed in a game I've purchased. Not Game Pass.
Oh, wow.
I've never been disappointed in a game I purchased because I do a lot of research before I play the game. I wait to come out, things like that. Even movies. Every movie I went to go see, I've never been disappointed. People come out and be like, "Oh, I didn't want to go see this movie. I didn't want to play this game. I felt like it was trash."
Really?
I've never
That's
went to
another conversation. Ooh,
I mean, only because one, I guess I'm simple, or I know what I'm walking into.
Yeah.
People don't do that. But I would hate for this game to be one of those. Because I like the customization, how they've dove into the different aspects of skill trees and stuff. That's my kind of game. I like those kind of things where I can pick how I want my character to be. The story wise, now I'm a big story person too. But the story wise, it does have a different take to it. Maybe I need to want to know a little bit more on it. But the aspect of the I guess world of people, the I guess whatever spirit puts a number up and whatever that number is dies or whatever. I feel like if the more of that story is, say you have a character that is this age and you don't complete in a certain amount of time, you die. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that aspect would give it a little bit more stress inducing. Like understand that you're on the time clock as well. I think Battlefield was that where like if your player died, you put a whole new player in the game. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all play Battlefield or something like that. Like you would play as a soldier, and if that soldier died, you would be a whole different soldier with a whole new name. You know what I'm saying? With a whole new set of weapons and stuff like that. But I like this game. I feel like it's gonna be something pretty good. It would be one of those game of the year contender maybes. I'm not saying it too early, but I mean I feel like it's one of those in the list. It'd be like people didn't really like it, but there was this that also came out. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Same thing with South of Midnight. I think it'd be one of those games where a lot of people don't play it, but it's really a good game.
Okay.
So yeah.
Check your phone, D-Lo. I don't really have much to say. I'm kind of like Caroline on this one. As far as like I haven't seen enough. I don't know. It ain't really piquing my interest that much. It would more. I play even like Caroline and Johnny said something about the story and the characters. Like I will almost play any game if I'm playing with friends. I think I've established that. So like if there was a multiplayer game and I didn't care about the story and the characters, but Johnny and Caroline said like let's get online and play with, like I probably would just to have that camaraderie. But from what I've seen so far, it's just kind of I need to see more. Kind of like BJ, it's a game that I might jump on as far as Game Pass, try it out. But this ain't a game from my point of view where I can see like I'm buying this if I didn't have Game Pass. So that's it. It looks kind of neat, but I need to see a little more. All right, big time. We starting off with Johnny on this because he had a lot to say last time. So Doom, the next Doom game. I know how I feel about it, but Johnny, Doom, man, what's up? What you feel?
Yeah, well, you can't talk about Doom these days, at least, without talking about the travesty of what happened to Mick Gordon when he was composing the music for this, and I think, well, when he was composing the music for the previous Doom games, and I think they even like made a point in this one of like, ooh, music produced by different this different group of people. So I forget if they actually mentioned it or not, or if I went looking for it. But I, you know, doing my best to separate that drama from the game. This I'm excited for this one. I didn't really resonate with the very hyper agile movement of the previous games, and I know that like I would catch heat from that because I know a lot of people really like that. That's totally fine. But I think I like games where you can stand and fight more so than games where you need to be more agile. I think I perhaps because I was a lineman, right? Because perhaps that is just more like it feels more more akin to me to be heavy and standing still. But I like what they're doing here. I think they are continuing to innovate with Doom in this iteration, which is great to see. Um, do we know, is it still Bethesda that's publishing, or
I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty
Yeah, I'm
sure.
okay,
pretty sure. I think it
okay,
is.
okay? Well, that's can't be perfect. Um, but yeah, I would say that I'm looking forward to this one.
And for anyone who doesn't know, Johnny, tell us about what happened with Mick Gordon and the unpaid and all that stuff.
Yeah, he was just so I actually don't know the details well enough to speak at length on them, but I know that he was very poorly treated. I think there was like a delay in his payment, or maybe he wasn't
Yes.
paid for some of the work that he put in. And it's you hate to see your workers or your artists mistreated, especially ones that had such iconic roles. In fact, I think one of the things that has one of the aspects of Doom 2016 with the most staying power is the soundtrack. Like I will still listen to the soundtrack of Doom, and it's I don't know. It's like taking when you're the star person, like the person that contributed so much to this thing's success, and then shitting on them. And yeah, I don't want to support that behavior.
It sounds like taking out Nobuo Uematsu from the Final Fantasy games. Like kind of like
Right. Or
okay.
firing, or Konami fucking firing.
Yeah.
What's his gosh?
Kojima?
Kojima.
Kojima.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, what are you
Oh,
doing? What are you doing? I don't get it.
And
Obviously different. Honestly, while we're talking about it, I think the biggest sin on that list is the Kojima thing, because he was. Never mind. We're off topic.
Johnny hates
um,
everything.
Johnny,
Yeah.
Johnny, I did pull it up too, and it said he was unpaid for his work after 2 years. He was treated
Dang.
horribly. He was bullied on the internet because he put it out there. So that's just some of the things that I brought up so far. So
Mhm.
Bethesda didn't address it at that time. So this thing that I'm looking at is from 2 years ago. So maybe they addressed it now, but that's just the initial thing when it first happened.
Mhm.
So, D-Lo, how you feel about Doom, man?
I actually liked it. I wasn't the person that played Doom in the past. Like I think for me, outside looking in, it looked like one of those games. Like, oh, this look like it's straight up torture, Hellsing. They're not gonna hold my hand. If you suck at this game, you might as well put it down. I think it was one of those kind of games. But looking at this, I was like, I think I want to get into this. I really do. Um, I'm not a rock metal music person, but um, I'll get into it. You know what I'm saying? I think like I said, I do like this, and then when it's about what their goal was for each of the Doom games was. I think the first one was like being fast. The second one was like aerial shooting related things. Now it's like I want you to just stand still and fight, kind of like what Johnny was saying. Um, I'll take my chances and actually play because I mean I've never heard bad things about Doom. Every time I heard Doom, it's always, oh yeah, this game does this is I like this game. It's tough, but I mean it's rewarding at the end. You know, that's things like that. So I think I'm gonna get into it. It kind of hurt me when y'all talk about the composer thing because I was like, that's one of my lifetime goals is to do, and I would hate for me to be the icon of a game and they don't pay me. I'm like, oh, this shit over. I'm just saying.
Caroline.
Yeah. I don't know. So you know what bugged me about this? Maybe I don't know about bug, but like they had a chainsaw shield. I'm like, isn't that kind of like Gears? I'm like, are they ripping off on Gears? Was it just me? I don't know.
Well, Gear has
But
a chainsaw gun.
Whoa,
gun.
whoa, whoa! If let's
It's a
see.
gun, so we'll make it a
Gun.
shield.
So it all might be ripping. Well, let's see. Well, so first Doom had the chainsaw. Then I think Warhammer had the chain swords, and then I think New Doom. Wait, let's see. What was then? Okay. Gosh, I'm all turned around. Gears was borrowing. Gears didn't do it first. Is all I'm saying. Gears didn't do
Okay.
it first.
Okay. Clearly I haven't played the Doom series. So yeah, I know it's been around for a while, but it was one of the series I actually didn't play growing up. So, but that was like my first thought. I was like, wait, another chainsaw? But it looks so. That being said, I'm familiar more with the soundtrack more than I am with the game itself. So it's exciting that they're that's one of the big draws to the game. Again, it's like one of those like it's an FPS. I'm not keen on those games, but it does look really pretty. Like the story looks really cool. Gameplay looks really good. I would give it a shot, but it's not going to be the top of my list for sure.
Okay. BJ.
Now, I didn't care anything about this game when they announced it and showed it originally. I played. I didn't play the second of the new Dooms, but I did play the first one. I never finished it because again I was on the hardest difficulty, and sometimes you just give up and never go back. But this one though, after seeing the gameplay, I'm like, yo, I'm playing it. Like I am definitely playing this game. Like it just looks like some good fun, man. You just get in there and tear through some enemies, man.
Yeah.
I am kind of excited for this now. Like I like these mechanics that they added with the parry. I think the shield looks dope, throwing it into him, sticking it in there, and then hitting them with some other stuff. Then the little flail. I think this looks funner than any of the other two games, for sure.
Okay.
So I will definitely be playing this game when it comes out, and I'm definitely gonna be turning that difficulty up, and maybe I'll actually get through it. We'll see. But
So if he drinking after Doom come out, just know why. Just if he got a drink on the podcast, just know why, man.
sorry, man. All right. This is what I do.
You said this one looks better than the other two games. I'm wishing which of the other games was so forgettable that you forgot that there were three other games.
Damn.
Oh, the newer ones? Oh yeah. Well.
Oh, of the other Doom games. Sorry, I thought you meant the other four we were talking about. The other three.
Yeah,
I know that you got the whole like classic Dooms, and there's a few of them, and there's like more than three of those, right? Like the more classic ones.
Oh yeah. I misunderstood. I thought you meant the other games we were talking about today, like the other ones.
Oh no, yeah, I was just talking about Doom, yeah.
Sure.
Because they had the first Doom, and then like what was the other one? I can't remember. But this looks like I would have more fun with this over the other two. And I'm also like I like the gory stuff, man. I'm not gonna lie. I like ripping heads off and slicing off limbs and crushing skulls. I enjoy doing that in my video games. So
grew up on Mortal Kombat, yeah.
Yeah, I did. So I'm gonna have a good time, and I'm looking forward to it, and I will definitely be playing it when it comes out.
Okay. I have not played. I don't think I played any Doom. I might have tried one Doom, but this one, I think I said it last time, looks amazing. I'm definitely downloading it, and I'm definitely playing it with the single player, multiplayer. I don't even know it's Doom multiplayer. No, so I'm gonna try it anyway. It doesn't matter. It looks cool. And I don't really have much to say about it because I just want to try it and play it. I'll definitely be trying it day one on Game Pass. I do want to speak to something that Caroline said and other people tend to say about sports and about movies and this person's copying this person. The world's been around so long that there can't be that much originality. Eventually, somebody's going to copy somebody. Some music's going to sample this music. How many turn-based RPGs we got? Like how many? A lot of stuff is. It comes to a point where there can't be that much new stuff. When I go see some of the movies, sometimes Captain America only can throw a shield so many ways. And so he only can do it. Transformers can only transform so many different ways to where the movie's going to end up looking the same. Now, it depends on if you like it or not. But I think, because I know Gears wasn't the first with the chainsaw. I already knew that. But I don't know how much you can change just in general in the world. Like you only can buy so many phones until it starts to be like they're all the same. Like, but that's just my thought on a lot of things when people say, "Oh, this team's copying this team." Well, it's like, yeah, that's probably what they should be doing to get better.
I love a good chainsaw. I still do. The more chainsaws, the better. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
As you guys know from my discussions about Gears, my style of play, just to charge forward with the chainsaw.
All right, so that was our wrap up on the direct. Seems like we had some positive things. I didn't hear too much negative. We had a lot of different opinions, so I guess we'll reconvene on that part of the direct when some of these games start coming out and we get our hands on them. I wanted to go to a quick subject about the Switch 1. We talked about the Switch 2 last week and the reveal and all that stuff. And I know we got a couple people in here who really play that Switch. They Switch people. They play that Switch. Speaking on D-Lo and Caroline, and I know Johnny said he doesn't have a Switch, so it'll be a little difficult for them to get in the conversation. But where does the Switch rank on your console hierarchy? Because now it's the second best-selling console and globally, but it's the first best in North America or in the US, excuse me. So where does the Switch rank on your hierarchy? Let's start off with Caroline or D-Lo.
For me, it's gonna be I grew up with mostly Nintendo products, but like it's gonna be second actually.
Okay.
So I play the Switch the most, like so much. But man, all my memories. So I do mostly single player now, but all my memories are on the Nintendo 64 and playing with my family, with my friends. Ocarina of Time, I played that game maybe 8 times before it got ported, or before it got remastered, and played it through, completed it eight times at least. So I think that's when I really started to, the Nintendo 64 for me is like when I really started considering myself of like a seasoned gamer or an experienced gamer, because like Nintendo was like, like I was just a kid, like I just, played it, but that it's so for me the Switch is like, it's a continuation of my love for games from the Nintendo 64. And there's a lot of, and I think the Nintendo 64 was there was a lot of games that were like breakthrough games too. So to me, it's more than just nostalgia. Just like there was more that came out in like Nintendo 64 than the Switch. But that being said, I still love my Switch very, very much. It's a close second. Let's say that.
D-Lo?
Okay, we're good. We can hear me clearly. Cool. All right. I think right now where I'm at, I play my Switch more than I only got 2 consoles. Okay, don't have the PlayStation yet, but I think my Switch is number 1 for me only because when I'm watching TV or something like that and the ad comes on, boom, I can get right on my Switch. Versus my Xbox, I gotta change the source. I can't do it something else while I'm doing, or I have to pull out my laptop while I'm doing something. But typically, if I'm playing my Xbox, it's a game where my brain has to actually to play all of those games.
Chop it up.
I don't have any.
Right. You good?
Okay, I don't have any. I'll make it quick. I don't have any games where I turn my brain off when I play my Xbox. When I play my Switch, I can play a game and have my brain half on, half off, doing something else. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. And I think that's just with.
And number 1 for you that's all time. The number 1 for you all time.
Okay, so
that's what we're talking about. No,
okay,
like where does it rank? So,
all time. No, of course. Switch is number 2. I think for me, I think number 1 has to be PlayStation 2 because that's where I got most of my games in. That's where it opened me up to a whole bunch of different games. It introduced me to genres I never thought I'd play. That PS2 era, yeah, that's really Jack and Dexter and all that. And the Sly Coopers and the Spyro the Dragons and all that. That's the Need for Speeds and.
Hey man, stop saying all them games. You're gonna mess up 20 questions. Hey.
And continuing on, no, but yeah, I think that's where it ranks. PlayStation 2 is where my heart is. That's where I remember most of my core gaming elements. Yeah.
Okay. BJ, what the Switch, man? Where does it rank? Like, with it being so popular, where does it rank for you?
Low.
Damn.
I gotta admit, like I really, like I'm trying to think back to even when I first started playing on it. Like, I feel like I've barely played. I mean, I probably played some Smash. I played the Fire Emblem Three Houses game when it first came out. Mario Odyssey, but even then, like none of these were like just groundbreaking. Like, man, I just had so much fun on this game. Like for me, and maybe it's not fair to make this comparison considering how much longer it's been out, but the 3DS was way more prominent for me. I had way more like fun with it. Um, I just really never really played my Switch. Like even like right now, it's been sitting right here on the table, and I don't think I moved it in like probably a month. Like I don't like. I rarely ever pick it up. I really do. Like maybe because I just got too much stuff around here, but shit, I don't know. I probably played the GameCube more in the past few months than I have the Switch.
Okay.
So I can't really rank it up there because I just can't really remember a time when I was just glued to it. Like it's just kind of sprinkled in here and there games that I played. And I don't know, maybe it's because I'm not the biggest like Legend of Zelda. Like I feel like that was like the main thing for this console between the Breath of the Wild and then the Tears of the Kingdom. Um, yeah, I mean, and then I'm not really like a big on the go gamer either. Like I don't really take it in the times that I did try to take it with me places. I was not playing it. Like it was just I was like I should have just left it at home. So I I don't know an exact number, but it's definitely down there. Like I just never really played it that much.
Okay.
Hopefully with the Switch 2, hopefully that might change. You know, hopefully they have some interesting games for me to actually engage with. But I just never really played it, man. And it's probably spent more time collecting dust than actually being played.
Eh, Johnny, any thoughts on it? I know you don't have one, but any thoughts just on the popularity of the Switch?
Yeah. I think I've played it enough and played it a lot to have an opinion at least. And so, Caroline, we might have finally found our common ground here. Because when I was thinking of where I was ranking consoles, the N64 was the first thing that came to mind for me as well. And games like Ocarina and like Majora's Mask, and I mean the first Smash Brothers, the N64 was really powerful console, in terms of what it offered, and what it brought. The Switch, gosh, it's up there. I think for me, I think for me, it's there's the tie for first would be the N64 and the Xbox 360. Those are probably the most formative consoles for me throughout my gaming experience. And then maybe the GameCube, and then maybe the Switch. Probably like around a fourth place, for me. And that's all that in mind with like the consoles are over here and the PCs like
Okay.
in another stratosphere, right? So like
Okay.
just to say.
I'm kind of with BJ on this one. I mean, I've got my daughter custom skins on the Switch. I love Nintendo. I think we all do. I think we've established that. But it's just I am a big screen gamer. I am a let's sit in the living room and play together, or if I'm playing online. But if we're playing together, like let's sit on this screen. If I play my Switch, I dock it. I don't play it usually in handheld mode at all. We were just playing Mario Party a couple days ago, and we put it on the dock. We put it on the big screen. It's a cool system. I don't have anything against it. Just for me, it's just kind of what BJ said. It kind of just sits around. And I play Mario Kart a lot, but I can take months off of it and then get back on for a couple days, couple hours, and then I really won't play it at all. So I don't know. It's more. I mean, I guess the portability of it, because I tried to take it places. I know Caroline says she takes it everywhere, and like when I try to take it somewhere, or I'm trying to play it on work at lunch, I'll like get it.
Sorry.
On lunch at work, and I'll get it, and I'll be like, you know what, I'm done. Yeah, I always like 2-3 minutes, then I'll put it down. Just I don't know. Maybe it's just a portable thing. I'm not sure. But I wanted to do something. We already did this episode, but on 3, your favorite console. This is for all of us. Tell me your favorite console on 3. 1, 2, 3. GameCube.
GameCube.
PC,
64.
Xbox
We
360, if not.
I got my Nintendo 64.
If PC counts, PC. But
Okay. I will let PC count. That's all right. I'll let PC count. All right. What you say, BJ? GameCube?
GameCube, yeah,
Okay.
for
Wait,
sure.
I went far left field with
You said we, didn't you?
you. I like the Wii.
All right. So let's transition. We didn't do this at the beginning, but I would like to do this now. What have you been playing or watching? Anything new? Anything different? I'll start off with Johnny. Anything new you've been playing, watching?
I've been playing Baldur's Gate again. I started a new playthrough, and I downloaded some mods that make the game. So having played through it once already, and started a whole bunch of different times, having some mods that let my character move faster, like when he's moving around. I think he's moving at like 3 times the normal speed right now. Is great. Having a mod that lets me auto loot stuff because I can't leave a room without checking every box, and not having to do that makes the game actually playable for me anymore. And it's a me problem. It's not the game's fault that I can't resist. But with these mods that help me manage my difficulties, it is a much smoother experience for me at the moment, and I'm really enjoying my current playthrough. I think I've put in like 60 hours over the last week or something like that. Maybe not that much, probably more like 30. But
You gotta let me know so I can get in there with you, man. Just shoot me
That's
a
right.
message.
That's
Man.
right.
Shoot me a message.
Mhm.
I still ain't beat it, so shoot me a message next time.
Mm-hmm.
Caroline?
So I've been playing Infinity Nikki, and everyone's like asking me, not just you guys, but when I tell people, it's like, what's the game about? I'm like, it's hard to describe other than it's open world. But it was free to download, and I know Dilo mentioned it in one of the podcasts, so I figured I'd give it a shot. It's not like it's not fun, it's just really hard to get into. So like the idea is it's you're trying to save the world, but you save the world with like different outfits, and so you think of the outfits as like armor, and so get different types of armor, but they give you different abilities. But it's like there's some battle. It's not the primary type, or it's not the primary thing that you do. Like you gather things, you fish, you pick plants and stuff like that, so you can make better outfits. So like, and then you have style battles. So it's I don't know how else to describe it, but it's a platformer. Like I don't know, like but so that being said, I'm the type of person, like if I start a game, like I need to finish it. I'm not gonna do like a completionist type of run through for this, but like there are definitely moments when I'm like, why am I still playing this game? And then there are definitely moments where I'm like, okay, like I have to continue playing this game.
Okay.
So like I think I told you guys, like one of the outfits is a violinist outfit, and as a violinist, I'm like, okay, all right, now you got me. Now you got me. So I gotta see it through. That being said, like the reviews are really good. I don't understand why they're really good. I don't understand, like I don't think there was a bad review, but I'm not trying to give it a bad review right now, but like it's not my favorite. Like but it's enough to keep me interested so far. But we'll see. We'll see how the rest of it. I'm about halfway through. I think I put in like maybe 10, 15 hours, no more than that.
Okay. Okay. D'Lo?
I drew a whole blank. The question again, reworded.
What are you playing? What you watching?
Yeah, see, I drew a whole blank. I'm actually really just into my Pokemon because I'm planning on hard resetting the whole game to go in and get other evolutions. Like in some Pokemon games, you can choose to evolve certain Pokemon certain ways, and you only get one in the game. So for you to get another one, you have to literally hard reset the whole game and go back and play the game again. So I'm just doing that. Meanwhile, watching me and a friend are watching Food Wars. I don't know if y'all know what Food Wars is. Literally, it is what it is. It's a great anime about food. I will say, you can't watch this show. People will give you the eye because the Japanese culture overemphasize, fan service, especially when it comes to food for some reason. But I've been watching that, and then Shangri-La Frontier. That's the anime about literally VR video gaming. Watch that in the background. So really just been literally in Pokemon the space. Me Ash Ketchum. I've been and that hard. So
Yeah. All right, Ash. VJ.
Like I said, I picked up when they announced that Ninja Gaiden 2 Black was out on Game Pass. I picked that up to start playing it. Mostly just to see how I would feel if I would want to play Ninja Gaiden 4 or not when it comes out, because like I remember playing, and it wasn't a big part of. I remember playing Ninja Gaiden 3 when I was younger. I mean, just for even I was talking, we were talking about it in the Discord with my cousins. He remember like we were going back and forth, like one person would die, you would pass the controller over to the next person and let them get a try, and then we would just keep going back and forth until somebody could beat it. That's about the extent of like my memory of that game. And I'm like, let me just try this. Let me see how it feels. And I don't know if it's really a fair comparison because you could. I mean, yeah, they put a new coat of paint over it, but it still got the jankness of an old game when you play it. So I'm thinking that Ninja Gaiden 4 will be a lot smoother. Yeah, and it's been fun just ramming my face into it, trying to see if I can actually make some real progress on the hardest difficulty. And other than that, I recently started, and I'm in this for the long haul, I know, but I started watching One Piece because I had to switch card games because nobody's playing the Dragon Ball card game anymore. So I started playing the One Piece card game, and I'm like, I can't play the card game and never have watched the show. So we've been getting through it. I'm in Alabasta right now. Luffy just got his butt kicked by Crocodile. So I'm still kind of in the early stages. There's a lot of setup, which I get because the anime is just so long that having 100+ episodes of just world building kind of makes sense, I guess. But I'm getting there. It's starting to. I feel like it's been kind of slow these first couple of arcs, but this Alabasta arc has been pretty good so far, and I hear it only gets better from there. So hopefully we'll get through it. I don't know how long it's going to take me to watch all these episodes, but we'll just get through it when I can, and we'll see. Yeah, I mean, it's been all right so far. I still think it's a little overhyped, but I ain't got to the best parts yet, so we'll see.
take your time, good brother. Take your time.
We
Take
get
your
there,
time.
man. I'm on like episode 120 or something, so
And don't
I'm
worry
scared
about
to
where
start One
the
Piece. I don't know.
we are skipping the filler though. I'm not watching none of the filler
it's
episodes.
you'd be surprised. There's like 12% filler. But like
I
you
believe
gotta
it.
do what
I
Johnny
feel
does
like
in video games.
there's a lot less
Get what
nowadays in the more recent episodes than it was back then when it was airing early on.
yeah,
Because
so
the site that we watched it on, it like
you
the site that we watched it on like specifies which episodes are filler, so So it's
yeah.
easy for me to just skip.
Yeah, you're not doing a lot of skipping, honestly. Like you'll skip 3 episodes every like 50, 60. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for
Like okay,
sure.
a holiday episode. But you
And
gotta do what
I'm
Johnny
down
does. You
for
gotta remember
skipping.
everything. You gotta remember everything, dog.
I know.
Yeah,
People
where
tell
they
me
are right
all this
now.
stuff. They set up stuff that they setting up stuff now for stuff that's not even going to be revealed until 500 episodes later. So,
Quite literally.
so
The
I'm
foreshadowing.
taking my notes. I got my boys that have, they're pretty well versed in the series. Keeping me informed. So I think I'll be all right.
Okay. I've been watching a show called The Wire that came out in 2002, I believe. It's everything I've heard from any person said that's one of the best shows ever. So I just finished season 1. It's pretty good. It's like a drug community and the police trying to stop the drugs and a lot of good characters. Characters that most people, they're characters that I know every one of us know. It's characters in there that at that time in 2002 was younger that we know that they are stars now. So you might watch it now and be like, "Oh man, I know who that is. I know who she is." So I got some pretty famous characters in there when they were in their younger selves. It's pretty good. 5 seasons. So I just binge watched season 1 of that. A game I'm playing now is Remnant 2. I'm at the final boss now. I just got to the final boss this morning. It is a 3-player co-op, which you really don't see. I'm trying to play it by myself, and it's super hard. This person who's playing right now is playing with a teammate. Playing by yourself is, I mean, I probably died like 900 times. Not kidding. I died so many times in this game. But it's cool. Nice story. Battling what do they call it? The roots. battling them, and it's really fun. I think it's fun. Like I said, I uninstalled it a minute ago because I couldn't get past a part. Once again, playing by yourself lends you to dying a lot more. Playing with 2 other people would help me out. I wonder if they have the final boss that I'm at now. I just got to the final boss at the end. I know that's the part. I don't know. But anyway, that's one game I'm playing is Remnant 2. That's pretty cool. There's also another game I'm playing that I was gonna text Johnny about that I just that's free for the weekend, but it looks pretty cool to me. They call it Necess. I don't know if it was Necessi or Necess, but it looks pretty cool, little like old school game. You build, you're battling, got crops and things like that.
Yeah, it looks like Stardew Valley.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I thought. That's what I thought it would look like.
Plus Terraria, unless that's Terraria right there.
No, but this is a Terraria, a Terraria player playing this right now.
Okay, that looks like Terraria. That looks like okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's
So maybe he's like intertwining it or something like that.
Mhm.
But it looks cool. And you, like I said, you go around, you build like the community, everything like that, kind of what Valheim and all that stuff you build up. And so I'm trying it. I tried it a little bit yesterday, and since it's free, I'm gonna try it again today and see how it goes. It looks fun. You know, well, first thing I thought was like kind of like a Stardew Valley, kind of what you said. So
yeah.
I'm gonna try it out. It's free. Why not? So yeah, that's what I've been playing, trying some different stuff to get off Dead by Daylight, but I've still been sprinkling that in a little bit. So here we go. Heading to my favorite segment. I'm coming up with some new segments too. Coming up with some new segments as well. But here we go. Let's get this for our last duel. I wanted to give, I'll give it in a second. Let me play this stinger. All right, we're to our last duel segment. I'm not gonna get too much. I had a whole soliloquy to give. This game was nominated for Game of the Year, and nominated for Game of the Year, console Game of the Year. So you got your Xbox Game of the Year, your Play. So it was nominated for Game of the Year overall, and it was nominated for Game of the Year within its own console. So it's just Switch or just 3DS or just whatever like that. So let the questioning begin. And I also did a little thing when I went back. The 21 questions usually last around 30 to 40 minutes, just in case anybody was wondering. So let the questioning begin.
Did it actually win Game of the Year?
That's one.
Wait, did you say yes or no?
No.
Okay.
Did it come out before 2010?
Yes.
See me getting us on them classic games. Nah, man. Man, we all wasn't here. Like, was that last week? Or was that? I don't even remember if that was last week or what.
Right.
Well, it's just me and Caroline. He got us, man.
He really did.
No.
Weren't even close.
Did it come out after 2000?
Did it come out? Sorry. Let me make sure.
After 2000.
Let me just make sure so I can clarify. I already know, but I just want to clarify because I didn't bring it up. Did it come out after 2000? No. That's 3.
So we're thinking like PlayStation 1 and Nintendo 64 type of, or before that. Yeah.
Did we mention it on the show today?
No.
Okay. So no Zelda. No.
Yeah, if I would have kept talking, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Oh.
Okay. So pre-2000 Game of the Years. I mentioned Final Fantasy.
God.
So.
Yeah.
Right, huh? Well, at least nominated for it, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's right. Pre-2000
I feel like
nominations.
there's only like a handful.
Tell you right now, I wouldn't even know a Game of the Year before 2019 because I wasn't even paying.
Trust me, last he got us last week. I didn't even. I mean, it seemed like it was a simple enough game, but it was not one that I new at all. So
Johnny, you know Snowboard Kids too?
Oh yeah, that's great. I love that
okay,
game.
yeah, you might have got it then.
Oh,
I
yeah.
Couldn't know
I had never
that.
heard of that game.
The closest I think was 1080. I think I mentioned it, but we didn't guess it. I'm
1080
like,
was played both.
Yeah, we did get around to maybe it being a snowboarding game of some sort. We
or a
just
skating
couldn't get
game, or I don't know.
exactly what, right?
I love that. Damn, that's a deep cut. I love
I
Snowboard
know.
Kids.
Me
Wow.
too, man. Me
That's such a
too.
good game.
Oh,
That'd be a hard one to guess. Yeah, but it was good.
Well, give me 1 second. I'll be right
Let's narrow down a console, guys. What do you think?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking right now. I'm thinking like it could be like Sega, it could be Dreamcast. Was Dreamcast around?
Pre 2000, I maybe.
Maybe it just came out. I
Pre-2000.
think I don't know. Nintendo 64, I think it was like 90, 96, 97.
Yeah, so we're
I
looking
think
at.
that's why we're working with that.
We could be dealing with Nintendo, Sega. Gosh, I don't even know what who was naming Game of the Year back then. Like who was?
Probably Nintendo
Right, that's what I'm
Power.
saying.
Yeah,
Right, that's what I would think.
I would think it would just be like Nintendo doing their own Game of the Year. That's why I'm leaning towards we can definitely narrow it down to a console.
yeah.
I just know
Is this game in a series?
Is this game in the series?
Like
Is a very hard question for this game.
okay.
I'm not gonna answer that.
Okay, so would that still count? That would still count though.
He's not giving an answer.
No,
so no.
he's not gonna answer.
Yeah, no, that don't count. Yeah, no, that don't count. No.
Okay, so okay. Dang, it's not. So how would you reword that question? There? So meaning maybe it's like the same game over and over. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like consistent remaster or something like that, maybe. But what
Was
game
it on a Nintendo system?
Haku, I'm gonna go back. Yes, it's a part of a series, and yes, Caroline.
It's on Nintendo, so it's one of Nintendo systems. Yeah, okay.
It's part of a series, and
Okay.
yes, it's a Nintendo system. That's 6 questions.
Okay,
I just I'm fine.
so
She went to go look at her wall of games.
so we just know it's a 19 something game.
Mhm.
When was
On
like
a
the
Nintendo
first game
console.
of the year? Is it like there was no game of the year in the 80s, right? That's like a 90s thing, isn't it?
I don't think.
That's a
I
good
think it's like
question.
90s. Like I know Nintendo Power did like Game of the Year, so I know like
Like late.
Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time was definitely Game of the Year.
Oh yeah, for sure. That would be too easy though, right?
But we mentioned that one already. Yeah, so it's
And we
definitely
mentioned
not.
it.
Yeah.
We
I mentioned Majora's Mask. Yeah, Yep.
Okay.
Caroline, you mentioned Ocarina of Time. I mentioned Majora's Mask.
So,
Let's
but we know
see.
it's Nintendo. Oh yeah.
What if
Is,
we didn't mention the game, but we mentioned the series?
a Nintendo game? Can I ask?
I would
Is this
I
an
would
art?
be upset about it.
I would be
Have we
upset about it
mentioned
too.
the
Like it's
series?
like gonna be Ninja
Have we
Gaiden. And I'm
mentioned
like,
the
wait.
series?
No.
So let's see. So
No.
we're dealing with we could be looking at the NES, the Super Nintendo, the N64. We
Game
could be
Boy.
dealing with Game Boy. Is that it? How do we narrow? Is there a good way to narrow those down?
I don't know. Let's see if I was gonna ask if we can ask if it's like handheld, but I think that only narrows out to one, right?
The Game Boy, right? So
Yeah.
We could filter out.
So
Sorry, go
I'm
ahead.
kind of hung up with the fact that like it took him a while to say if it wasn't a series or not, because if it was Mario, he would have been like yes, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I sometimes I throw in caveats, but Mario Paint, is that really a part of the series?
Great game, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Immediate. The music is immediately in my head now.
What was like Pokemon Snap?
That's a good
not a
game.
part of the series.
I love that game.
Love that game.
Okay, so so that's what I meant by
I'm
that.
favorite.
Okay, because technically Pokemon Snap is not part of the series, right? I mean, like it is and it isn't. So
Mhm.
Right, it's not. So
it's like a
this
spin-off.
is not a game of the year, it's a nomination. right? That's what this
Um,
is.
Nomination. It's a
It's a
nomination.
nomination,
It did
okay.
not win Game of the Year.
Okay.
I feel like I don't remember any Game of the Years before N64. Do we want to just confirm whether it's the N64 or not?
We
Yeah,
should.
go ahead.
Okay. Is it on the N64?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
Let's see.
Here
So it
we
was
go.
So it was nominated for Game of the Year. Let's see. Big N64 titles.
Oh, like Super Mario 64, but again,
Mhm.
it's part of the series. I'm trying to think. Metroid Prime came out, I think, in Nintendo 64. Star
Prime
Fox.
was on the GameCube.
Oh,
on the
GameCube. That's
yeah.
right. Oh, I did like that game.
Yep.
Star Fox.
Star
Yeah,
Fox
Star
64.
Fox. Star
Oh, that
Fox.
could have been.
It's like one that was good but not good enough, right?
What? Whoa! Hey, what? Star Fox is great.
Oh no, I'm not
Oh my
saying
God.
that.
I
I'm
was
just
like,
saying I'm not
Maybe
talking
Star
about Star Fox specifically. I'm saying it's a game that was good enough to be nominated, but not good enough to
Oh,
win.
sure. Yeah, that's
it could be
definitely in
Star
the running.
Fox.
It could be.
I think Star Fox is great.
It's funny because if it is Star Fox, I was thinking about using Star Fox to narrow down our questions. Never mind. Whatever. Anyways,
So, Star Fox. I'm trying to.
does the game feature vehicles?
No.
Okay, so no Star Fox
Did
and any
Okay.
game with vehicles.
Animal Crossing come out in Nintendo 64 or no?
It did.
That
It
was
did.
GameCube. It did?
There was an N64.
Really?
I think.
I thought
Well,
GameCube was the first
sorry.
one.
I think the N64 version was like a Japan exclusive. So I think it's probably
Oh,
not.
okay. I think I know what you're talking about now.
Mm.
That you say that too.
I was thinking like F-Zero. Smash
Century.
Brothers.
Okay.
I don't want to
Smash
ask.
Brothers.
You want to ask about,
What was that,
wanna
Dylan?
ask about the character?
Yeah, we can ask
You
about
want to ask about the
characters.
characters, maybe? Maybe the characters.
Yeah.
Is a iconic character? I know that might be it was a hard question to answer in the past. Like if I held this up to a random guy on the street, would he know who this is
Yes.
or have an idea?
Yes.
Okay.
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 So
who
can't
are
be
those-
Zelda.
who are
Maybe
the
Banjo
faces?
Kazooie.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, they not.
Banjo Kazooie was fun. Oh, that's actually not a bad Banjo Kazooie. Or maybe that's
But-
Conquer.
A random
Or
person
Conquer,
wouldn't know
yeah.
who Banjo
Mhm.
Kazooie was.
Could be.
Possible Hail
Dilo, you
Mary.
think a random person wouldn't know who Banjo Kazooie was? Who Banjo
Probably
or
not.
Kazooie was?
More than
Probably
okay, so like
I
not.
feel like they
who are the
could
faces
not
of
know who it is.
N64?
I mean, it's Mario, Link, Banjo Kazooie.
So like
I like Banjo Kazooie.
someone would know Link but call it Zelda. Banjo Kazooie, someone would probably say Pokemon.
What's a bear?
Maybe. I mean, but
A
what
bear.
I feel
are
like
other
There are
other?
bear Pokemon.
I don't feel like Banjo got the pop like that.
Y'all at 10, by the way. That was 10.
Okay.
Banjo
Alright, this is a
Kazooie was up
platformer.
there though. I don't think it actually won Game of the Year, but it was definitely up there at its time.
Mhm.
Well, how do we rule out Banjo Kazooie?
Y'all can always go genre.
We didn't answer.
That's what I was
genre
gonna say.
question.
I wanted to ask if it was a platformer, personally.
Banjo Kazooie is a platformer.
Because
Yeah,
there's
the
different
question-
good with platformers.
I'm
Sorry,
trying to think of who else was like a famous. Like, what are they like? Big.
Hey,
Is that the question or no?
Yeah, I got a question. Is it primarily
Okay.
first player, like single player? I should say.
No.
Okay, so there's a multiplayer aspect to it.
Okay. What about 007? What about 007? What about GoldenEye?
Oh, I don't know if it won though.
Mm,
It was definitely
but it didn't win. So the game didn't win Game of the Year.
No.
no.
right.
Right.
Is
So
it-
we're looking for games that didn't win Game of the Year.
There are
I
no
like
vehicles in that
GoldenEye,
game.
but I feel like
I mean, if
technically it
if
is
you held up a
single
picture of
player game.
James Bond, everyone would know who it was, right?
Right.
Maybe, yeah.
There's a lot of different ones, man.
Okay.
I think it hits the criteria so far. It would be a weird sort of series question.
Or
maybe.
Perfect Dark.
Yeah, I thought about.
I don't
Perfect
think people
Dark,
know
too.
that though.
But
Right.
well, they don't know it, but like it was also up there.
Is the game a shooter?
No.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. What about is okay. Well, we know this is probably one player, right? Like one character. We know that, right?
We don't know
He,
that.
he
Well,
just
it's
said that it
multiplayer.
was. He just said it was multiplayer.
It was
What does that
multiplayer, but
mean?
we don't
Does
know.
that mean you could switch characters probably?
Like what was Smash Brothers? But he did say that
I'm trying to
the
think.
characters are not iconic.
And he said it wasn't. He
Okay,
gave
so
a wish-wash answer about being a series, and Smash is definitely a series, right? So
Yeah.
Well, it was the wish wash. I said this was Pokemon. Is Pokemon Snap a part of Pokemon? I don't know. I would say, is Mario Paint a part of this?
well, let me ask this then: Is this like an offshoot of a series like those games are?
No.
Fuck me.
Okay. From my knowledge of N64, I never owned one, so I feel like some of the characters are either animal or human. So would that help us differentiate? Like knock out a lot of if it is not a person, okay, clearly it's all animals or humanoid like animal. You know what I'm saying?
Like
It would
an
knock out games for sure.
anthropomorphized animal main character.
So is the main character an animal?
No.
Animal like? Yes. Okay.
No,
So
I said no.
No.
oh, you said no. Okay, so this is a human, so that does help. So it could knock out like
I mean, I didn't say it was a human. You said that. I
Okay.
said no, it's not an animal.
it's not an animal. Okay, so things like Donkey Kong are dead. Things
I don't know why I
like
thought about Metroid.
No Banjo Kazooie.
yeah, Banjo-Kazooie's out. I hope it's just not something like Bomberman again.
Because we still do we even know. Do we have the genre yet? No, I don't think so.
No,
We don't have a
it's not.
genre yet,
but
but
it's not a
other
shooter.
than yeah,
What genre
other
is
than it's
Fallout?
not shooter, and it's like there's multiplayer.
Well, we know we know it ain't that, but I'm kind of leaning toward just because platformers were just so big back then. I just feel like
Yeah.
it was probably something like that, but I don't know.
I mean, there was a Mario Kart 64, but that's definitely part of a series, right?
Yeah, and
What I
no
feel like-
vehicles.
Y'all could help me out. Does most of N64 games have a N64 in it?
Many do, but
Many
not-
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That won't help if we say does this one not have N64 in? I mean, 64 in it? Maybe that would no, probably not.
Mm,
I'm not
I
a
don't know if it'll help.
N64 person, so I'm just trying to figure out how to knock
It would
out.
narrow down some, but I
Not
don't
a
really
lot.
think it's like that many like that.
Okay,
It's a human.
it is a multiplayer game.
so it's
It's not
not
a
Conquer,
shooter.
not. I mean, have we ruled out Mario? Did
Let's rule
Mario
out
had to
Mario.
win Game of the Year, right?
Let's rule out Mario. But yeah,
I know which one.
Oh.
I would think so though.
Well, because he said that it was somebody that's not recognizable.
I
He said
that
it
they are.
was recognizable. Yeah.
Oh, it was recognizable.
hmm
Also, okay, maybe not, maybe more.
I know it's my destiny.
Pokemon.
I'm just humming the song. I mean,
Did we
All
rule out
right,
Pokemon? Pokemon Stadium wasn't Nintendo 64.
True.
That's true. But now we got to rule out: is it a fight?
The characters that you play.
Are there a lot of
like
fighting games in? Huh?
Pokemon, which are.
Yeah, but there are people there. I guess I don't know if they're the.
I don't think there's any people in the game actually. I think it's all. You don't see any. I think it's all Pokemon.
Right, because technically that does not count.
Even in the little mini games where there's like a sushi restaurant one with the lick of tongues eating the sushi. Anyways,
I love that game, man.
That was a great minigame.
Oh, yeah, Pokemon Stadium, yeah,
Oh man,
absolutely.
such a great game.
Right.
I kind of want to play that.
let's work on genre. I think so. We know it's not a shooter. Do we want to ask if it's a platformer, BJ? You were talking about.
Yeah, that was a question that was in my head. I just,
Is it a
I don't want
platformer?
to waste a question unless everybody
did it.
feels like.
It's
I'm
not
really gonna waste it.
platformer?
Nah,
It is
not
not.
15.
So
Okay,
no
it a
Mario.
platformer?
He said no. Yeah. He said
Oh, he
no.
said no? I didn't
Yep.
hear him. Okay.
So Mario's out.
Okay. Dang. So that's interesting. So it's not a platformer or a shooter.
Mhm.
Are we back to the snowboarding games again? Like, is it sports? What?
Snowboard Kids won.
Was there any sports games
no,
on
there's
N64?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
Yeah, we could ask. Is it
I'll
a
go back to what's it called? I
man?
forgot the name of it again already.
Vehicles. There's no vehicles though.
No vehicles. Blitz, and Blitz 2000 are great games, by the way. Which
Oh,
They
were
are.
it could be
God
not bad.
damn, you preaching right now, man.
they were
Yeah,
wonderful.
right.
Ooh.
Dude, you
What's that
could
game I was talking about?
continue tackling people after the play and stuff. Oh my gosh, it was beautiful.
I think it was called
Great.
Pilot Wings or whatever that I was
Should
talking
we
about
ask if
last
it's a
week.
sports game?
I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Is it a sports game?
Yep.
Okay.
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 All right.
Like Kobe
Um,
Bryant. What was the name of that game I used to play?
That's on
Courtside.
GameCube. So
Kobe-
don't
Kobe
even-
Bryant.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, the courtside,
Was it
the
GameCube?
Kobe on there.
It is.
How many questions we have
People
left?
will
Andre?
recognize Kobe. I'm just saying.
It's y'all at 16 right now.
Okay, that's why there's humans because it's a sports game.
Yeah,
Madden.
Wayne
Blitz? Was
Gretzky.
Blitz?
In NHL, I played that game too.
So
Yeah.
he also said that if you held up the main character, people would know him. So like, are we saying?
Maybe it's Kobe Bryant or something.
I mean, so like, there's
Well, the-
What are
Madden. Like,
what are
is
some
that-
what are some iconic sports like?
Tony Hawk Pro Skater. That's all I got. That's what I said
Ooh,
last
think-
week.
I think that was.
Are there any baseball games, football games? I don't.
Was
I'm
that
just
on the
drawing blanks
64?
here.
Or NBA.
There was a Ken Griffey Jr. game. I just wasn't sure. If
Boy,
it
that Ken
was,
Griffey Jr. baseball, I got that over there right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
was
that
that,
banger
but I wasn't
song
sure if it was
used to come
Nintendo
on.
64.
Mm.
Wasn't it Nintendo 64? I don't know.
Well, Ken Griffey Jr. was definitely on Nintendo 64.
Okay.
What
What
sport
was the game
was
of the
this
year
called?
nominated?
I
what
don't
was
know.
game of the year nominated? That's a sports game.
How
right?
do we narrow down the question? Like,
How many questions do we don't have that many left, right?
we've got like
Yeah,
5 left, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do we
but-
want to do we
Right
want to ask if the sport is played with a ball that's shaped like a circle? Because that would
Okay.
do a lot
Do
of
we
things.
narrow
That
it
would
to
be-
basketball or
That would be like golf, baseball, basketball, and then like we could tell if it was like football or or hockey. Because
Or you could just say, "Is there a ball in this sport?"
Oh, we know it's not. Do we know it's not Mario? Because isn't Mario? It wasn't like the first Mario Tennis on N64 or something.
Oh,
God damn, BJ.
I know the answer, but
I feel like the very first one was, but maybe not.
yeah, there was definitely a Mario 60 or Mario Tennis was on the 64 for sure.
Okay, so how do we rule that out? Is there a ball? You know what? Is there a ball in this sports game?
no.
Okay, there we go.
It's
Okay.
Snowboard
There's
Kids
no
3.
ball.
Well,
There's
but
no
so
ball.
it could still be
There's
hockey,
no
though,
more
right?
kids.
It could still be hockey.
It
could be hockey,
It could be
not
hockey.
Wayne
It could be
Gretzky, NHL.
snowboarding.
I
It
can't
could be
remember.
skateboarding. It could be something you're riding something. Hell, it could be
And
ATV. I don't goddamn know.
He said it. He just said it
There's no
doesn't feature
vehicles either.
vehicles. No
No
vehicles.
vehicle.
no
Is a
vehicles,
skateboard a vehicle?
No, it's not.
No.
I wouldn't. If it has no motor, it's not a vehicle.
A bicycle's a vehicle.
I'm
Why
gonna
isn't
go with
why isn't a
Bicycle
snowboard a
is
vehicle?
a
Why isn't that
mode
Tony
of
Hawk?
transportation.
You
Tony
can
Hawk.
you can get a DUI for operating a bicycle while drunk.
When
That's
I
true.
buy a bicycle, it is if it doesn't got a
Johnny,
motor,
for the
it's called a
purposes
motorbike.
of our podcast, I'm not considering a bicycle a vehicle. Okay.
Okay. Does that mean there's a
Bicycle is
bicycle in
not
the
a
game?
vehicle.
Is that what you're saying? Just kidding.
I'm not saying anything.
If it doesn't have a
Back to
motor, it's
Pilot
not a
Wings.
vehicle.
All right, it's a sports game. Oh, I don't know if Tony Hawk's
Pilot Wing
there.
64.
I don't know.
Sport games without
I mean,
balls.
I feel like if someone held up Tony Hawk, you would know him. So
Yes,
For sure.
absolutely.
Was there a
So-
Tony Hawk on the N64? I thought it was PlayStation.
Maybe.
I know there was one on GameCube. I don't know about N64 though.
Hmm.
Because I was playing, I think it was like 3 or 4 that was on GameCube, one of them. I remember playing that game. Because you had Spider-Man on there.
What other sports don't have balls in it?
Hockey,
boxing. I don't
Hockey.
know.
then
Boxing.
wrestling.
Boxing, yeah, that's
boxing.
actually not a bad idea either.
Um,
You
we
got
wanna
that ready
ask-
to rumble.
Do we want to ask if it's a combat sport?
wrestling.
At this
Is it
point, we
combat
might as
okay?
well.
That's
Oh, it
fine.
could
Yeah.
be wrestling.
Was there a wrestling game? Do
could
y'all
be
even
another
know?
one.
There was a wrestling game in the
'Cause
Nintendo.
if we don't know it, then it don't matter.
I forgot
Okay,
which
you
one it
wanna
was.
ask
I feel like
that?
at this point, we could ask.
Man, now I'm trying to
is,
remember which one it was because I remember playing it.
How
and I'm
many
trying to
questions do we have
remember-
left, Andre?
You
4.
guys are at yep, 4.
4 questions.
Yeah,
And
4.
with the
4 and
fourth one
fifth.
being our guess?
Yes.
Okay, so 3
so
more.
3 questions and then a guess.
Oh shit.
We
What's
can
the
go on
rest
and
of
ask the combat. We can ask that.
Yeah.
So it
Man,
knocks
it's
out
actually one of
boxing
my
and wrestling.
favorite games, man.
It's like boxing, or if it's like
Is it does the game feature a combat sport like wrestling or boxing
boxing or
MMA.
Is it a combat sport? Yes. I'm gonna say yes.
okay.
Okay.
So we got.
That probably means no hockey, even though there is fighting in hockey. It is probably not
I
considered a
feel like
combat
it's.
sport.
I feel like it's like a WWE game or something.
That's what I'm
what I
thinking
was
too.
thinking,
Yeah.
Man, I'm
But I
trying
can't
to
think of none of them on Nintendo 64
A
WrestleMania?
combat sport
or
That
Ready to
almost-
Rumble is another
that
one.
almost won Game of the Year.
Ready to what's I don't know. I'm not familiar with Ready to Rumble.
Let's get ready to rumble. So what? Afro Thunder on there and
Yeah,
All
you
of-
preaching right now, baby.
I'm
That's
just
my game right
saying.
there, man.
See,
I love that game.
If
I
it
think
was
I got that
SS
over there too.
if it was SSX or something, I could have helped you. But it's not.
See, that's what I was talking about last week. Was SSX, but I don't know.
It's tricky.
I like Ready to Rumble.
Okay.
So what's another
I
game
do
like
also
that?
like some kind of wrestling game, but I don't know the wrestling games on
Okay, so
N64 like
let's
that.
think. What are some iconic people in fighting
Ready to-
games? Like Muhammad Ali. Like I'm just trying to think.
I don't know
Right.
if you do a WrestleMania, for example, you know the Undertaker and
I was just thinking there somebody held up the Undertaker or something like that.
Hulk
People probably
Hogan.
know.
Yeah,
you know.
now I think about it. I don't think people would.
The
If I
Rock.
showed you a picture of Afro Thunder, you probably wouldn't even know who he was.
I know it's
Unless
same
you
thing
really
with
played the
Ready
game
to
like that.
Rumble.
But if I showed you Muhammad Ali, you should know who that
Yeah.
is, right?
Yeah,
You should. If you don't, you're doomed to society. But you know,
lived under a rock for a year.
like
Let's
okay,
see.
we got boxing, we got wrestling. Is there an MMA game? I don't know.
I think
don't know.
MMA didn't
No,
even
no
exist. MMA didn't even
Okay,
exist
so-
as a sport, like or as like a.
not before
Bit of-
It is
Nintendo,
a relatively younger sport.
or at least it wasn't popularized.
Yeah, it was probably
until, like,
around, but it probably wasn't prominent yet.
Yeah,
Okay, so
No, definitely not having no game that I know of.
What game
Yeah, whatever the
Muhammad
game is,
Ali
I
in it?
probably didn't play it.
combat sport.
was there any game with Muhammad Ali? That's the only boxer I know for real.
No,
That's like notable.
I mean,
I'm-
you know
Kimbo
Mike Tyson.
Tyson's not in the game, so I don't know.
You know Mike Tyson.
I mean, okay, Mike Tyson, but was he in a game in the N64 days? I don't know.
I can't tell you. You gotta ask the question. I mean,
I
I just wish I knew any wrestling game that was on N64. I don't.
I'm suspecting that it's a wrestling game. That's
That's why I wish I knew any of them.
Do we want to confirm if it's wrestling? Do we want to?
Okay, I mean,
I don't
hey,
even
we're at
know.
the-
but yeah, but we gotta come up with a game. Even
But it would disqualify the one thing other thing that I think. it is.
WrestleMania, some type of WrestleMania game. Royal Rumble. It could be Royal Rumble.
Which
Not Ready
is
to Rumble, but Royal Rumble, which I
that's
think
probably
wasn't.
it's probably in celebration of that. That's like next weekend or something, right? So
it is next weekend. I plan on going. It is next
that's
weekend.
crazy.
Well, you are going?
But we gonna do a day. We talk about that after this. We gonna do
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's a WWE. Actually, I think back
That
then
could be it because he loves his themes.
It does.
I mean-
I think it was even back then. It would still been WWF.
I think
actually.
Royal Rumble. I
Yeah.
think that's it. I do remember playing it a lot.
I just can't think of the name of any of them.
Let's just see if it's a wrestling game.
Is it a wrestling game?
yes.
Woohoo!
Okay,
Let's
well,
go
let's
Royal
not
Rumble.
I guess.
This
I'm
could
stoked.
be a Hail Mary because my cousins they're half German, so they do the wrestling and they do all the things. So the only game I remember my cousins playing, I don't know if it was N64 though.
I think it's Royal
Mayhem,
Rumble.
I don't know because that's
Oh.
a game that I remember them playing. I just don't remember what console it was on because they used to have consoles that like they still have PlayStations, but they don't have no Xbox. And I had Xbox and they had PlayStation.
That sounds familiar, but
Yeah.
I
Was that
don't
on
really know.
Was that on N64 though?
I have
I don't
no
know.
idea.
I think our challenge here is actually knowing like the game titles. I
Which
think.
game? Yeah.
Yeah. So
The
are
only
there?
wrestling
So
games I knew were on PlayStation.
is there? So
Or on
there's
GameCube.
Caroline, you're saying there's one called Royal Rumble?
There's one called Royal Rumble. I just wasn't sure if it was a Nintendo 64. I'm almost positive it is.
Okay.
I do remember.
I'm going with Mayhem because that's all I know.
Okay.
I don't even play N64, so
I have no clue.
I don't think it's Mayhem because it would have rung a bell. I don't think it's a Nintendo 64. I just remember playing a wrestling game with my cousins, and I think Royal Rumble, like there's a WWE. I don't know if it's WWE or WWF at the time. I don't know.
I think it was WWF.
Might have been WWF.
Yeah, and just to clarify, because I had to do this anyway, WWEF wasn't the only wrestling company back then.
Yeah,
anyway,
WCW.
Oh, WCW. Yeah.
It's
I think they had a
WCW.
game too, but I can't think of what it's called either.
anyways, y'all want to give up?
They also did like a crossover game, but again, I don't know if it was Game of the Year.
I mean, if you'd recognize him, probably WWF, right?
Right, it would be WWF.
Well, I mean, WCW was pretty prominent back then.
Okay.
And a lot of them guys just went over to WWF afterwards.
That's what and then they close. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Royal Rumble for me.
Okay, so
I truly don't know.
Well, so we have two questions, right?
Two questions.
Two more.
One question and a guess.
We can make two guesses, right? We can ask if it's Royal Rumble, and then if not, we can like make
what
a
if it
as the last ditch.
So you can.
According to Andre, it's a W. It could be WWF, WWE. I don't know none of these words, these acronyms mean, by the way. And then WCW, right? But typically after those three letters, it's probably one word, right? That would only make sense because like Soul Calibur, there was no space and it was one word. So like,
yeah.
Typically if it got an acronym like that, I'm assuming it's only be one word or maybe two words. But that I don't know wrestling.
It's something like that. So WWF became WWE. So they're the same thing. They're the same entity.
So WCW is the only other two option, right?
It's the other option, yeah.
Do we want to
yeah,
ask?
and usually
I don't know.
It's going to be like WWF WrestleMania or like Royal Rumble or something like that.
Yeah, I think we're at a point where it's probably more valuable to make two actual guesses instead of trying to narrow it down closer, because I think we're probably just going to guess Caroline's guess regardless of whatever the next question is, unless there's a way to like really rule that out. So I think we guess Caroline's question, and if it's no, then we make another shot in the dark, because I don't think we can even think of any other games.
He had one too with the Mayhem. That sounds familiar to me.
Okay,
that's the only one I can think
for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, is it WWF Royal Rumble?
Well, if you ask that, then that's y'all guess.
Yeah, we can't do
What?
No,
yes.
What do you mean? We only have one guess, guys.
Yeah, you only can have one. Hey, D-Lo knows that. You only can have. We can't do.
You got to ask all the questions. No, you can't ask the question like that.
Okay.
No. So how do we rule out one of the other ones?
Okay, we got to rule out. Okay.
Does it rhyme with toil and tumble?
No. Ask that question. No. Do our two options start with two different letters? The letters different combinations.
Wait, whoa, hold on. Sorry, what are you asking?
Okay, so like, is one of the options a WWF game? Another one's a WCW game. Is that one of the? Is that our options, or they both start with the same letters?
Perhaps we ask if it's a. Well,
I don't want to.
What are our two
options?
It's not
WCW because I don't know anybody from WCW.
Yeah,
I would The Rock. Okay. Everybody knows.
I don't know the difference. Hell, what is WWF mean?
WCW, man.
World Wrestling Federation.
Mm-hmm.
So what does WCW mean?
I don't
know.
Okay.
World Confederation of Wrestling or something.
Something like that.
Okay. So
I don't know either, but I just know that.
Who would be on the cover? Let's ask that question, because we said the iconic character. Who would be on these covers?
It's probably The Undertaker is my best guess.
So what game has The Undertaker on
The Rock? Or The Rock.
A lot of those guys are icons. Y'all would know.
Yeah.
And Johnny, a lot of them, and Caroline, a lot of them, like BJ said, they came from WCW to, like Stone Cold Steve Austin was in WCW, came to WW. So
I don't know. I'm in the dark. I think BJ gave up.
Ric Flair as well. So I mean, y'all give up? Well, go ahead.
We don't give up. We just don't know which guess we want.
Okay,
so we're trying to guess between our only two guesses that we're thinking are Mayhem.
How do we rule one out?
Royal Rumble.
Okay.
I don't know.
What was the first option?
Mayhem.
Royal Rumble.
Okay, asked it. Does the title outside of the letters in the beginning does it have one word
or two words?
And we can't ask the or. We got to ask one question, yes or no questions.
Oh.
Outside
Does
of
it
the
have one
W,
word?
whatever.
No.
Huh?
No.
Okay, so it has 2 words then. So it got to be Royal Rumble then, right?
Let's go to Royal Rumble.
Okay, so we're going with
I'm
Royal
cool
Rumble.
with that because
Okay.
I have no.
I'm cool with
All
that.
right,
because I
Andre.
don't-
Is it Royal Rumble?
That is
WWF Royal Rumble.
incorrect.
Ah.
Incorrect.
What is
My
it? What is it?
apologies.
Is it
This game, hold on, let me go down. This game received nominations in console fighting, console game of the year, game of the year. It's known as the best wrestling game ever by most people who play wrestling games.
WrestleMania.
Really?
Okay.
It ultimately lost to Dead or Alive 2 and SSX. It was announced as the best console game in 464. And in 2000, it was an Ultimate Fighting Championship game in 2000 as well. So that's
Sorry.
crazy. But anyways, it is WWF No Mercy.
Wow.
One of the best
Whoa,
wrestling
whoa,
games
whoa, whoa,
ever.
whoa. Hold on. Time out.
Johnny, you ain't gonna get me on this one, buddy.
But I am.
You're not.
Because I asked if it came out before 2000, and you said yes.
No, I didn't. They came out in 2000.
I asked if it came out before 2000. I'm just saying. I
It
think
came out in
We'll run the clip
2000.
back.
I
We'll
said
run the
before
clip
2000.
That wouldn't have helped me, but hey, I mean,
That wouldn't have
Okay, let's ask this question.
Before 2000 means December 31st, 1999. And
That wouldn't have helped
Johnny,
anyway.
would
But
you
I don't
have
think I
guessed
answered
this?
that.
I'm just saying.
Let's
You
ask
ain't winning that one.
No, I
Johnny.
do remember No Mercy.
Johnny, would you have guessed this game if you 2000?
That's not part of this conversation right now.
Because if
I do
that
remember
would
No
have,
Mercy.
I wasn't gonna get none of this anyway. So I have no dog in the fight.
I think I have played this actually. It looks really
I have
familiar.
played it.
Cover
Well, I thought it
is
was Royal
The
Rumble.
Rock.
I never
Rock,
played
yeah.
this.
I wouldn't have guessed No Mercy. I will
It's
say.
the
But
best wrestling
it's
game.
been a
Hold
minute.
on,
It's been a
yeah.
minute.
Don't
Got the cage
BJ,
match.
Just like Johnny said, just like I told Johnny, you ain't sorry, bro. Don't even.
I mean, I'm not airing no grievances. I'm just saying we had Just Bring It. We
And it's
had
not-
nah, bro. Them games was lit, bro. If you can't go on
That's like The
backstage
Rock.
and just get to talking to some people and get to beating people up in the parking lot or having a scandalous relationship with one of the females, or nah, bro. Nah,
I do
hold
remember
on.
this game.
Them PlayStation era games, them boys were lit. Them were the ones that I played. Just Bring It and Bring the Pain and whatever the other one was.
I do think we
Them was
did
the
it.
games.
I think we narrowed it down well, though.
I think
Had
so,
we known
too.
the game, we would have gotten it.
I know the
I don't
game.
know
I
that.
just I wouldn't have remembered it. That's for
That's
sure.
one thing I do want to say though. You know, we even if we don't get the game, we always manage to get right there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's really been a time when we were just super far. Maybe once or twice when we were just way off. But we usually manage to get right on the cusp of it, and that's impressive.
It's
in
okay,
itself.
y'all. We had a good streak of like 4 and 5 in a row.
You
Yeah,
should.
we
That's on
did.
you. That's on you, right? This on you right now. This on D-Lo.
What?
They said, "Oh man, we got this streak going," and I was trying to be generous because you don't know none of the old games. I ain't been generous no more.
I mean, that's okay. That's okay.
We gonna go old school. We gonna go old school.
That's okay. I kind of helped.
You did.
I said,
You
maybe.
did.
I mean, it rung some bells. I don't know. I don't. You know, hey, when the console older than me, all I can ask is genre. Hell,
I had another
I don't
one.
know if we can do Atari games because that's my console older than me.
and if you say Guitar Hero, I'm best believe gonna get that.
Oh, Guitar Hero! I want one of the games to be Guitar
Even
Hero.
if he tries to go left.
Thanks for tuning in to episode 17 of the Gaming Now. And for Johnny, Caroline, D-Lo, and BJ, we're out of here. We'll see you guys next time.